Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to my studio. In this video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for learning how to crochet on fabric to make the beautiful faux fringed Ruana. We're going to use a small crochet hook and a fine woven fabric to just simply insert our crochet hook into the fabric and make a gorgeous garment that's versatile and has lots of fun ways to style it. Let's get started. The Faux Fringed Ruana is available as a single download pattern or as part of my newest crochet book, Layers Crochet. This is a very versatile styling piece. The faux can be worn open and loose for a dramatic look or laced up through the front and tied to create a cover-up style. Kimono sleeves can be created simply by lacing up the sides. Decorative buttons or a pretty shawl pin are other options for dressing up your Ruana. We start with one of the 55-inch square chiffon scarves from my Redbubble shop. These are scarves that have my hand-drawn artwork covering the entire sheer scarf. From there, we're going to cut the scarf into a Ruana shape, fold over and sew the cut ends, and then crochet directly onto the fabric to make this magnificent piece. Here are some of the other beautiful prints available in the chiffon scarves from my Redbubble shop. There'll be a link in the video tutorial, and I wanted to show you that they are already seamed. So there's a doubled sewn seam along the edge of the fabric. So any of the ends that we're not going to cut are already sewn down. And then on the edges that we are going to cut, this is what we're going to do to finish off those edges before we crochet onto the fabric. So here are a few of the other prints, and if you follow the link you can see all of the other beautiful prints in my shop. But because these are 55 inches square, I thought it would be easier to take a smaller piece of fabric to show you what we'll be doing. If you take a look at the schematic that's part of the pattern, you'll see the direction that we need to cut the fabric. So we're going to lay the fabric out and cut it out, but I've already done one here. So I'll show you that we cut out that shape from the schematic, and then with the iron we pressed the edges towards the inside and then press them a second time, and this is what you will sew. Whether you use a sewing machine or hand sewing, you'll want to sew those edges down a second time like they are on the finished edge. And then at that point we'll be able to take some of our yarn and our crochet hook and sew and crochet right onto the fabric. Start by tying our yarn to our crochet hook. You can use a square knot or a slip knot, doesn't matter, whichever way you prefer is fine. And we're going to insert our crochet hook into our fabric in any of the corners and pull up a loop. Chain 5, which counts as a double crochet, chain 2. And then a 1/4 inch from where we last worked a stitch, we're going to work up about 1/4 inch and we'll double crochet into the fabric again. And if you're gentle but put a little bit of pressure, it's not really any trouble at all to get our crochet hook through the fabric. If you're having any trouble with it, I would go down a hook size or two. The smaller your crochet hook, the easier it is to get it through the fabric. And we will chain 2 and working 1/4 inch down, we'll crochet into the fabric again. Notice how I'm working underneath the hem. If you do it into the hem, that's double thickness of the fabric and it's much harder to work the stitches in there. So we're going to follow the chart or the written line-by-line instructions to complete all of the stitches. We're going to work all the way around the fabric edge as well as work a second round and then put fringe on it. Here's what the finished crochet edge looks like on the fabric. Isn't that beautiful? Now here I'm going to show you how to do one of the fringes, and what we're doing is taking a section of yarn that we've cut. You can look up in the pattern to see how many pieces of yarn and how long we cut them, and I'm going to insert them into the fabric by pushing the crochet hook in first and then sliding the halfway point of the fringe through and then holding it at that halfway point. And I'm going to grab those tails of yarn that were sitting there on the from the crocheted edging and just tuck those right in with this, because it's a great way to hide the tails as well. And then pull everything through and tighten it up real nice. Get those pieces in the middle to lay flat. There we go. And then we have our finished fringe. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the video description for all the links for how to find the yarn, the chiffon scarf, the pattern, and the layers crochet book, and everything else you'll need to make this gorgeous fringe Ruana. If you have any questions, please feel welcome to leave them for me in the comments. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you in the next video.